Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 6 of Hand of Fate. The last one we did took nearly an hour because it was quite a long dungeon, so I'm going to jump straight into the next one.
The more you play, the more I wonder.
Obviously story mode. And this time around we're going for the Jack of Scales. So we've got two curses this time. Mana Drain. Cooldown times for weapons and artifacts are doubled. I don't use my artifacts and my weapons on their cooldown all that often. I don't spam them, so the cooldowns doubling isn't really going to be that noticeable to me. But in combat, every last enemy alive can no longer be stunned or interrupted. Those aren't the two worst curses that I've ever seen. So can't be stunned. That is a bit of a pain for the lizard men though, because yeah, they have shields and you really have to sort of stun them to do anything. But can't be stunned or interrupted. I think they can still be countered. 2 Dead Man Gorges, 2 supplies. That is fine.
The Scales are represented by these lizard men. Quiet, patient, lethally subtle and coldly intelligent. Of all the creatures I have incarnated as suits, these please me the most.
Back to the deck builder. Again, we're short on equipment, we're short on encounters. We're just going to do the standard deck. Once we've completed the game, assuming that I managed to complete the game, may well go back through again and try picking some of the decks, customizing some of the decks. But for now...
You have taken one of my symbols, but now we begin to play in earnest. My scepter is at stake, and I do not intend to lose it.
So this is what we're playing for now, the Scepter. We got the Cup after the 3rd challenge, now we're playing for the Scepter after the 6th. The deck is getting more and more stacked.
Scales. I have saved the lizard men for now, but the stakes have been raised. There is no weapon I will not use against you. Well,
the exit's probably in the corner, so we're going to have to go in one of 2 directions, but our first choice isn't a choice. Is it Mr. Lionel? Oh no. Wow.
Usury, the root of all troubles.
Not even sure we can complete this encounter.
Their foolishness.
In a busy market town, you're approached by a shopkeeper on the verge of losing his store. If you lend me the gold I need to save my store, I will repay you one day with interest. Give him 10 gold. Fine, I don't need it. You give him the 10 gold. The shopkeeper gracefully accepts your gold, saying you won't regret this. The card's token is now yours. Gold payback. Useful. After 10 steps, the player draws 3 gold cards. Brilliant, so I don't have to backtrack anywhere. So I will get my gold back, probably, eventually. Let's move on. Stranger in the Shadows.
Aha! The Count enters the picture.
So this is another new card we haven't encountered before. I think we unlocked this at the end of the last one.
The outcome. I do not think you have what it takes.
On a dark moonless night, down a lonely road, you encounter a hooded stranger. Greetings, friend. I am in need of some sustenance. Would you be willing to offer me some of your vigour in exchange for gold, he asks, taking out a bag of coins. Except I'm going to lose some life. The stranger moves with unnatural speed and grasps you firmly and bites at your throat. After a few seconds, he releases you. Thank you, he says, handing you some gold, as you regain your composure. I am not yet satiated. Would you like to earn more gold? We'll hit accept. We'll do it one more time. Thank you, he says. Here's more gold. Mortal, you seem unusually willing to give your blood for material gain. The stranger goes on to tell you of the secret blood auctions where they may be found. The card's token is now yours.
Take it.
So we have gone and lost some health, but we can sort of double back and we'll heal up as we move around. Let's move on to this one. That's actually the stairs.
Once more, seeking the heart of it all.
We've got a fair bit of food. So what I'm going to do is turn back, because you can do that one with the exit. We'll go to this corner and see what we've got. Twisted Canyon. Brilliant. We definitely want this. We want to get a better weapon, don't we? So let's go and climb down. Again, only 1 chance of failure. Which is that one there, so we'll pick any other card. Unfortunately, we don't have that blessing anymore that allows us to redraw. 1 weapon card. Scorching Zeal. Served as well last time. So we did waste a bit of food doubling back.
Head downwards, if you dare.
But we did get a weapon out of it, and we've recovered all of our health now, so worth.
I appreciate your efforts. I worked hard on this game. It is a pleasure to see you play. A ship at dock is worth nothing until it sails.
Okay, fairly linear route here. A winding trail.
These trails wind, and our goals wind with them. My voice and these words draw us closer to the inevitable conclusion.
I think we've done this one before. Suddenly a tree falls across your path, blocking the way ahead. The dealer draws you one monster card. Ugh. Weapons bristle from the trees around you. Their wilderness faces obscured by the undergrowth. Give us your gold, all your gold, or die. Attack the currently banned for daring to threaten you. We do have our first encounter with scales now. They are going to be quite annoying. But we've got our decent weapon. We unfortunately are lacking a little bit on the side of the decent armour. Now I've got to watch out for these lizard guys because they do have some unblockable attacks, which is annoying. So I will be ducking and darting around quite a bit. At least trying to, if I can do it without screwing up. We've got these doubled cooldowns, but I should definitely still remember to use them whenever I can. Just try and keep out of the way of the lizard men. Ideally, though, we don't want to... oh, bugger. Ideally, see these lizard men that I can't actually hit them. I need to shield bash them. Shield bashing them stuns them, which allows me to hit them. As for anybody else, I'm really going to have to be careful because the last man standing cannot be blocked. I've taken a lot of damage from these guys now. There we go, managed to get in with my weapon. That was a lot of health to lose there. I really need to do better against those guys or this isn't going to end well. Or at least it's going to end quickly and not in my favour. 2 gain cards. 1 is equipment.
Cut them where it
Life
counts,
Slim. Press 1 to inflict a curse of... press 1 to inflict a curse of weakness on enemies close to you. Strike the cursed enemy for bonus damage. I don't think that's
Really?
all that useful. I don't think I'm going to equip it.
To do?
And we gain 5 food.
It's enough to put you off crossing at bridges like this. Surely there's an alternative that would leave you less exposed and vulnerable.
Well, that doesn't sound good, does it? While crossing the ancient rope bridges of Dead Man's Gorge, you hear the sounds of movement from below. It's an ambush. Draw 1 monster card. It's a 2 of skulls. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 2 of skulls. As long as this thing isn't booby-trapped to Almighty, we'll... Oh, unblockable! There we go. So we're always going to have trouble with the last guy. But we did beat that encounter, I think. And we'll get some health back when we move, so that's good. You recover what you can from the dead. 3 gain cards. 1 food. Draw 2 things from the armory and select 1 to keep. So we know this one allows us to move faster. What's this one?
A quick flash of gold, and the bandits will forget themselves.
So on every weapon ability usage, all bandits are stunned for 3 seconds, and every bandit killed nets the player 2 gold. Well, I don't really think we're going to be up against that many bandits, so I think we'll go for the faster movement speed, especially when we need to get...
I'm surprised to see you turning your back on gold.
Especially when we need to get out of the way of those lizard men. So that's what we're going to take. 3 more food. Moving on. Travelling mage. We've got a little gold. We may be able to heal up. Let's go and approach the shop. We do have a sword to sell that we're most likely not going to use. Well, I would say almost definitely not going to use. Now, can the mage heal? No, we can buy food. Well, let's sell items, because we know we don't want Life Slim. Not all that useful to us. We definitely want everything else that we have. We could sell our axe. Let's sell the axe. And let's see what we can buy. He probably doesn't really have anything that we want. Oh, that could be useful. Lizardmen take double damage from the player's attacks. Each strike inflicts a curse, slowing and weakening the opponent. Damocles is nice. What does that one do? Press 2 to attack faster with each successful strike. The longer your combo, the more explosive the reaction. Double damage against Lizardmen is worth every single penny, although we would be losing the extra speed. I still think that's the better option.
That will help you.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually go back and sell the Angel's Wings. Might be able to afford to buy something else. 38 gold. Unfortunately, can't afford any of those, but we can afford the Hag's Wraps, so let's get them.
You'll curse them too.
Anything that can give us an advantage, we definitely want to take. I think that's what we've just gained from that first mission we did, the one with the loan. 25 gold. 15 gold. 15 gold. Cave mouth. Next step of your journey takes you from a cave out to the feet of an imposing forest. We're going to turn back. And the reason we're going to turn back is we've just got a load of gold. So we're going to go back to the travelling mage. One, it means we gain some more health. And we can now go back in here and buy one of the items. And we'll probably stock up on some food as well. Trying to go into this as prepared as possible. So, we want to buy items first. Oh, you had new stuff this time around. You've got a Dragon's Ring. While all Dragon Relics are equipped, receive 50% max health. Well, we don't have the Dragon Relics. What have we got here? Alchemical Silver. That's the one that gives you the faster attacks for combos. Plunderer's Cap. As you draw supplies, instead draw 2 and pick 1. Not all that useful. And Damocles. Do I want Damocles or the Alchemical Silver? They both have a limited number of charges. Damocles can be useful when there's a big group. I've never tried Alchemical Silver before. Let's go and use it. Let's give it a go.
Silver of dreams given material form. I am grateful that if nothing else, you have brought this to my domain.
Still leaves us with 21 gold, so let's go ahead and buy some food. Unfortunately, the only food is available is singular, and it is quite expensive, but take food where we can, because you never know how long you're going to have to be backtracking. And I've just backtracked to do that, so at least we've broke even on food. By the time we get to the next couple of encounters, we should be at about full health. So we're going to exit the cave. You embark upon the next leg of your adventure.
Play the game. Ha! I know you will not tell me. Like all the rest, you are silent.
So we will go along the bottom this time. Nearly back at full health now.
So often, this is how the story ends, is it not? The hero tries, the hero dies. Their memory is celebrated, but they are lost.
Okay, so hero's remains. You pass a funeral. It's obvious from the size of the procession that the deceased was a well-loved figure. You are approached by the cleric. This great hero fell defending our beloved town of Wondermere. His sword and shield are powerful artifacts, but must be returned to his hometown for proper burial rites to be completed. Will you do this, traveller? Yes, take the hero's belongings. Thank you. This will mean the world to his family. The town would have revolted had these artifacts not been returned. It's not far from the hero's hometown. Look for the town cleric when you get there.
Such an elegant use of rage and anger. You wouldn't expect it of the barbarian hordes.
So we can actually equip and use this, but we will get the option to give it away later on, and the bad things will happen if we don't, or we won't complete the mission. We're not going to equip it because I still think the weapon I've got is better. As for the shield, doesn't really do an awful lot for us. A shield bash deals damage to the opponent. Damage increased as you go up in combo tiers. I think we will equip that one for now. Slightly better than what we've got. And hurry, it's not wise to anger the spirits of the dead by delaying their proper rites. That's fine. So we get this as well. Heavy burden. After 5 steps, the player loses 50% max health.
Around your neck. Of course, you can remove your curses at shops if you can find them. Still, I'm keen to see how you handle your disadvantages.
This is going to be interesting now because I don't know which tile that's going to be on. So or is it going to show us? The hero's return. Ah, we know where it is. It's up here. So we're going to head straight for it. So we go to this one.
Our lives
Culling
are
the
often
Rat Men.
lived thus, are they not? Pushed back and forth by the whims of nobility or power. This token will unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
All the lands in all the kingdom are being overrun with rat men. Merchants in my lands are attacked on the road, and as are travellers such as yourself. My guards are needed here with me, but if I had just 50 gold, I would hire a mercenary army to find their nests and call their numbers. Well, I can't pay him the 50 gold because I don't have it, so I'm just going to have to refuse. I understand that contributing to the common good may be unfamiliar to your sort, but I urge you to return immediately if you change your mind. So if we get enough gold, we'll be able to come back and do that again. But we need to go over here.
Look. Look deeply. This is the fate of heroes. There's a token in it for you if you win.
You reach Wondermere, hometown of the dead adventurer. The town cleric meets you at the gate. He appears to have been standing vigil. We can return his sword or keep his gear. Let's return his sword. Thank you. This blade will once again be wielded in righteous fury. Do you also have the shield? We'll return the shield. Truly, you have done the Almighty's work in returning this shield. We get 2 blessing cards, though, so it's good.
I made that a little too powerful. I will have to rebalance that next time.
Whenever the player uses an artifact, there is a 30% chance of immediately reducing its cooldown time by 80%. Well, that's not all that useful, because our artifact only has 8 charges on it anyway, so we don't want to be spamming it multiple times where possible.
Very nice indeed.
Whenever the player eats food, they gain twice the usual healing. Well, that's very useful. I like that. Card's token is now mine. Let's just make sure we have re-equipped our shield. And we have. And we move on, I guess. Battle at Brooktop. So basically 2 monster cards. We've done this one before. 2 of Dust, 4 of Plague. We can do this one. I think we'll be good. So just going to run in. Instantly start by firing off my weapon ability. Oh, didn't quite dodge that one. Thought I'd hit Q in time there, but apparently not. Can't dodge that one. I definitely hit Q there. Game decided otherwise. And they're all down. Lost a little bit of health there, but we'll regain that. We get twice the healing now, so we'll literally be back up to full health the next time we move. 2 gain cards. Draw 3 from the armory. Select 1 to keep. Medium armor is just basic armor. Fortune's Breath. Every 3rd encounter does not consume food. It's probably the most useful thing there.
Are you sure that's the right approach?
Gain 15 health, which wasn't really all that much needed. Devil's Carnival.
Frivolity is not my forte.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult now that we don't have that blessing.
And claim my token.
One day as dusk gathers, you reach a large country town hosting a travelling circus. Yeah, it's the same one we've done before. Going to be very hard to get huge success twice. No idea where it is. Ah, got it though. Number of spectacles being performed by... Right, got to try and do it again now. Never gonna happen. think it's this one. Nope, failure. 1 gold pain card, so we lose 5 gold.
Ouch.
Well, we only had 3. Oh well. I've never actually ever managed to successfully complete that. So we go here. Treasure chests.
Open the
again.
chest, see what it contains. I'm curious.
2 failures, 2 successes. Gonna go for this one randomly. And it's a failure, of course it is. Suddenly you hear a click. Attempt to escape the gas. Now we've got a very low chance of this happening.
A choice. Select your desire.
No, failure. At least it wasn't a huge failure. You make your way through the clouds, coughing some dangerous gas once you make it to the other side. 1 pain card. Lose 15 health. At least it's not max health, so we will get that back quite quickly. Approach the treasure chest. Treasure chest looks battered but still intact. We're going to try and pry it open. Got a higher chance of success here. Well, at least we got it. I keep going for that 3rd card, what is eventually going to be the right one. After a mighty heave, the lock gives and the spoils are yours. 4 gain cards. 3 gold, pathetic. 40 gold, much better. 15 gold, better. 10 gold, better. Let us jump back to this one. We're losing food here, I appreciate that.
He is not your duke, remember. He can only ask, not order.
But this time we can actually give him the money. So let's do it. A wise decision. I shall begin a campaign against the filthy rats immediately. Also, you may take this blade with my mercenary army. I won't need to rely on it to protect me. The card's token is now mine, and I get the rat cleaver. Hits against rat men, inflict double damage.
Mankind. Yet the two have lived in close proximity throughout the ages and are more similar than either would care to admit.
I think we're going to use this one. Doesn't do quite as much damage. It doesn't have holy, doesn't do fire damage, but it does have an ability that causes a force explosion that will stun enemies. That is very useful. So we've used up a little bit of food. We are going to have to go and buy some more. Don't know which one of these is the way out. It's this one. To continue forwards, you must first descend down a ladder into the unknown. Well, we're going to climb down the ladder. You embark upon the next leg of your adventure.
Did you expect me to tell your fortune? No. A fortune teller is at their most base and despicable when they begin to believe their own lies. Of course, I am different. My powers are genuine.
Getting a little bit short on food now. The altar.
It must be nice to be unpredictable. I am as bound by the rules I've written as you are.
Well, we did this one before. Let's go for it again. Let's do the prey. There is a huge failure chance. We could have some problems here. Let's hope we don't get the huge failure. I'm going to go for that one. Success! Yay! On bended knee, blah blah blah, 1 blessing card.
Many of these blessings are too good for the likes of you.
Undead that physically strike the player may receive damage themselves. Useful. Let's continue. Travelling jeweler. We'll have a quick look. We don't have a lot of gold. He probably isn't going to have anything useful. May have some food, and I think food is what I actually want more than anything right now. So let's go and have a look. Yeah, he does have food. What items does he have to buy? Feathered ice. During combat, press 2 to create a blast of freezing ice centered on the adventurer. Spirit walk. During combat, press 2 to become ethereal, avoiding all damage until your next attack. Useful. Damocles, we know, and healer's ring. Gold for healing could be useful, but I prefer food. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Do I have anything that I can sell? We can sell Scorching Zeal. And we can sell our basic shield now. That puts us up to 36. I would like to buy some food. I think supplies is the most important thing I can get at the moment. So we've spent all of our money, but we've got back up to 18 food. Let's continue to reveal the tiles. Normally the exit's in the opposite corner. Normally, so we'll zigzag around. Rat men hunting again, of course it is, although I do have the cleaver. One monster card.
Our old friend, the Jack of Plague, returns to fight another day.
Oh, great. Oh, awesome. Just what I wanted, the Jack. Gotta remember that the Jack can't be blocked. In most cases, not all. Let's try and get rid of his buddy first. We have done. Oh, did we get him? No, we did there. I did pop my alchemical silver right at the end there, just to try and get some additional attack speed. Did unfortunately lose a little bit of health, but again, we'll get that back quite quickly. Get a food gain card this time around. It's only one food, but it's better than nothing,
food.
I suppose.
Not a great change, but enough to switch the odds a little.
Certainly. Let's keep moving. Cave mouth. That's how we get out of here. Let's turn back, because we can get back to there easily. Let's go and check some of the other cards. Bandit attack. Awesome. One monster card. It's only a 2 of dust. We can handle that one quite easily. Was just hoping we might find something useful, you know? You both did. We're at full health. Not sure we'll necessarily gain anything from that. Among the bodies you find a scrap of parchment with a rough description of you plus an offer for a reward from the King of Dust. King of Dust is dead till he reappears. Dead King's Hall.
The king is one of the players in our great mystery, yet here he lies, dead and unforgiven. His time is now long past.
Let's draw 2 monster cards. Oh, wow. 6 of Plague and a 2 of Scales. Let's attempt to take them by surprise. Not a high chance of success here. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Take one of them down before they can react. Well, I think we're going to get rid of the 6 of Plague. The lizard men are annoying, but I'd sooner fight 2 than 6. Although I do extra damage against the rat men. I think I'll be okay against them. I should just skip this. This hall is booby-trapped, actually. So I'm just going to let them stand in their own booby trap there. Let's just get out of the way. Just going to keep knocking them into the booby traps wherever I can. As you can see, they have quite a lot of health. But they are both down, and I didn't take a single hit there, neither from the lizard men nor the booby traps, so I'm actually quite happy about that. Use the traps against them, that's the key. 2 gain cards and an equipment card. 5 max health, very nice. 3 food.
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
And Berserker armor. What am I wearing currently? Just normal light armor, yep, so we'll definitely equip it. Now, we can't move diagonally, so we might as well at least reveal this card.
You are braver than I if you're willing to get involved in a marital dispute. A challenge for you, and a token if you succeed.
While travelling through a small town, you're accosted by a furious woman who shouts at you from the door of our homestead. You there, you look like you can handle yourself. My husband was supposed to be home hours ago, but instead he's with his pals drinking away all our coin. They left the spoils from their latest job here. If you go and teach him a lesson, you can take your pick. Do you go to the tavern and confront the husband, or leave the wife to deal with it herself? Well, there is a token, so let's go to the tavern and confront the husband. Now, here's someone with some sense. I would go and crack his skull myself, but our dragon cow... Yeah, Dragon Cow is birthing a litter and might burn the whole place down. You find the woman's husband, and it's the Jack of Dust.
This place is so much lower than ours. He merely repeats the same motions over and over, incapable of change.
And there's a Two of Dust to go with him. We can either join his drinking game or threaten him. Don't think I want to play the game of chance. Oh, we're still going to do that anyway, even if we threaten him. Should have just joined the drinking game. Let's go for that one. Failure. I hear worse threats from my wife every day of the week. He scoffs. Got to fight him, though. Shouldn't be problematic. So let's just go and pop this straight the way, just to slow him down. We do have some people firing arrows at us. So we're definitely going to want to reflect as many of those as possible. We're going to want to keep away from Jack when he's glowing like that, because it means he is unblockable. That's it, you just keep running into the wall, that's fine. Another arrow coming in. Tried to deflect it, for some reason it decided it wasn't going to work. Let's keep away from Jack there. Just oh wow, I can't believe he actually turned mid-attack animation there. Get out of his way, attacking from behind. He is down. Okay, so we took a little bit of damage. Not too much to care about, so... You return to the woman, bringing her battered husband with you. You just drop him on the corner and take what you want from this rubbish, she says, handing you a sack. The card's token is now mine. Interesting stuff. So, the healer's ring.
A tool
One
used
gold.
by those who made life better for others, now in your hands. Such a waste.
Not that bothered by that. Now, what about the hammer? What does that give us?
Sometimes form follows function, and vice versa. In this case, it's called a huge hammer. You take a guess.
Does have holy. I think it might be better. Let's just have a quick look at feathered ice. This is the one that slows people down, isn't it? I think I'm going to go for the hammer. I think it's going to be slightly better than the Ratmen one that we're currently
Old
using.
Reliable rears his ugly head again.
Because it does more damage and it has holy, and it does more damage for combos. Now then, I don't think I'm going to go to this corner card. It seems like a bit of a waste, because even if we go there, we are going to have to backtrack before we can go to the cave mouth. So we're going to go straight to the cave. And move on, hopefully, to the final floor.
The lizard men are nothing if not patient. He waits for you.
So, let's go up. Oh, local peasant.
Hungry mouths. War leaves nothing else.
I don't think I've got enough food to be giving it
a
away.
Token now.
While crossing a forest clearing, you meet a peasant woman. Greetings, stranger. The winter has been hard on my family this year. In the forest behind her, you sense movement. In exchange for some food, I will tell you everything I know about these lands. Let's give her 5 food. That probably leaves me enough. The woman takes your food eagerly, passing on to some children who suddenly rush from the forest, hands outstretched. You have given us enough food to survive the winter, stranger. She retrieves a sack from behind a bush. This was my husband's before he died. Please accept it as thanks. Card's token is now mine. And we get another mace that isn't all that useful. We don't want to equip it. What we have is better. While the children eat, the woman speaks at length of what she has heard recently. See, even though we did actually go and use a fair bit of food there, we have uncovered some cards. So we know we can probably go and buy some food from the travelling healer. We can also probably get some from the maiden as well. And we'll probably have enough to uncover everything. This is most likely the end challenge, which is why it hasn't been revealed. Not too sure why that one hasn't been revealed. We shall have to see.
Another token brings you closer to your goals.
Let's kind of zigzag around. Let's go to the maiden.
Again, a token is at stake.
So it's like the normal maiden card, but this one's part of the DLC. Your thoughts return to Mr. Lionel as his need for some elven hair. Request a lock of hair from the elf maiden. The maiden considers this for a moment before slicing off a few strands from her hair. Is as you wish, but be cautious, mortal. You have a taint of goblin about you, and they may never be trusted. The card's token is now yours. Many enchanted weapons have powerful abilities that can turn the tide of battle, but only if their wielder remembers to use them. Farewell, mortal. So, we get the token for that one. Intrigued to see what this is. Dead Man's Gorge.
You begin to see the nature of the questions we will ask. Do we look to the past or to the future? Is your decision predetermined or made in the moment?
Well, I guess we've got to do it. While crossing the ancient blah blah blah, 1 monster card, 3 of dust. Okay, not too bad. Now, I don't think this current weapon... Oh, it does have an activatable. As long as we just keep striking combos together and not missing. I did sort of miss there, unfortunately. No, we're still on 9. We are still comboing, apparently. There we go. I actually quite like that weapon. So that one was completed nice and easily. Unfortunately, we don't have an awful lot of gold. We do get 2 gain cards from this. There's 5 food. And 3 food. Well, we're okay for food. So we don't actually need to buy food now. So let's go to the travelling healer. Let's sell anything that we don't need and try and get some money, because then we can go and try and do that Minotaur thing again. I don't think we're going to need any more food. I'm not necessarily going to spend all the money. We'll actually have to have a look and see what's on offer. If there's something useful, we might go for that instead. But we can't never afford to get curses removed. We'll sell that mace because it's pretty useless to us. We will go ahead and sell the rat cleaver because we have a better weapon now. There's nothing else that we can or want to sell. So we've got 18 gold in the bank. We can heal wounds here or buy food. I don't... How much can we buy food for? 18 gold gets us 5 food. I don't think I'm going to bother. I think we'll just keep the gold that we have right now. So what have we got here?
Noble
this is
in
the
mind,
noble trader.
Simply noble by birth.
A nobleman approaches on a chariot as you walk the streets of Steigle. He notices you and comes to a stop. Greetings, mercenary. I am a collector of rare weapons and yours intrigues me. Would you part with it for some gold? I'm going to decline. I don't want to give away my decent weapon. Disappointing, but my own fault, I suppose, for expecting to find a business-savvy peasant. He rides away. So we don't get that token, but I keep my weapon. Okie dokie, let's go and do this, the Song of the White Minotaur again. This is the 3rd time we've landed on this card.
New cards. Some you'll wish you'd left untouched.
Let's see if we can get a success on this one. No, failure, of course. Pay the 15 gold. Let's agree to do it. The bard bestows upon you all of the knowledge he has gained about the White Minotaur. Or at least to get the card's token now. Cost us a bit of gold, but at least we've done that one. Finally. Helpful priest. Give the priest half your food, which will put me down to 8, which should still be enough. Still got to hope that we don't get the failure.
Choose from these options.
I have no idea. Got a success. Not a huge success. We'll get 1 blessing instead of 2. 1 blessing card.
The gods look upon you favourably.
When the player chooses from multiple equipment or gain cards, the choice available increases by 1. Not all that useful. That only really, like, you know when you get those cards that says draw 3 and pick 1? We'll be able to draw 3 and pick 2. It's basically all that does. So not that great of a blessing card. So on to Ratmen hunting. We know how this one goes. It's only a 4, so it's not too bad. Let's just skip this. Reflect that while we can. Let's go ahead and use my weapons ability, because it does a lot of damage. We'll reflect that. We'll reflect that. We'll reflect that. Oh, that one's unblockable. I think we've actually been poisoned there. There we go. We unfortunately took some damage from the poison, but we should get at least some of it back. We should get 10 back when we move on to the next tile. I'm assuming that is going to be the boss. We get 1 food gain card and it's 3 food. I think what I will do is we'll just double back, because that way we've wasted a bit of food, but we're at max health now. And it is the Jack of Scales.
Fight for the ages. I expect greatness.
This is the one that's going to be tricky. This Lizardman's potency allows him to nullify the magical abilities of players' weapons and artifacts, which is a bit of a pain. So we need to just give him a good kick in as quick as possible.
Let us take a token on their foolishness.
2 tokens at stake here. Now, is he on his own or does he have some buddies with him? He has 4 buddies with him. So, I can reliably tell you that this is going to be annoying and at the same time annoying. I'm really going to have to rely on my ability to counter-attack, as well as dodging out of the way of unblockable stuff. Didn't want to get hit by that, ideally. So we're going to go for speed here. We're going to try and do weapon bashes and just speed attacks wherever we can. I don't think I actually managed to get that to fire off. I don't think it will fire off. I think it's because he's nullifying it. Not as much as you'd like to be, though. Just sort of keep out of the way. Again, we've got to go for the shield bash to try and stun. Unblockables. Actually doing quite a lot. I think we've got him down there, actually. You're unblockable. Let's avoid that. I think we've got this in the bag. Oh, no, we have done it. Wow. That was quite a lot of jumping around there to avoid being hit by everything, but we did manage it. It's so ridiculous with that helmet on.
Well played. Well played indeed. You have defeated something that I never expected to die.
So we've now unlocked the Dealer's Scepter, and that's going to change the way that the game plays in the subsequent rounds. So at the start of the adventure, we gain an additional equipment card. We start the adventures with more food, and our starting gear has been upgraded. But the Ratmen have had their strength increased, the Bandits have had their health increased, and the Lizardmen have had their strength increased. So it does get more tricky. We've got some tokens to cash in before we end the video.
Represents my will in the purest sense. It is not too late for you to give up now. Go peacefully to your fate, and leave me to mine. You begin to assemble a credible deck. Let us see what happens next.
Okay, so let's see what we've got. For loaning gold to a merchant, you will receive the Marketplace, which is an encounter card. For trading so enthusiastically with the Stranger in the Shadows, you receive Blood Auction, which is another encounter card. For returning the belongings of the dead hero of Wondermere, you will receive a 10 gold per blessing gain card, nice, and Warcry, which is another activatable trinket, or artifact. For culling the Ratmen, Ratmen's hunting is unlocked and you receive the Rat Cleaver, so that goes into the equipment deck. For going to the tavern to retrieve the woman's husband, you receive the Tavern Wager, which is another encounter. For feeding the local peasant woman, you receive Map, draw 3, inspect and put back. Now, is that on the map, or is that actually in one of the decks? I think that's probably on the map, so we can uncover 3 cards, possibly, I think. And the Greater Helm of Reinforcement, which obviously is a helm. For gaining the Elf Maiden's Hair, you receive Goblin King's Halls 2. For hearing the Song of the White Minotaur, you receive Hunting the Huntsman. As a reward for defeating Lizardmen Jack, you receive these new cards. The Queen of Skulls, who will be the boss on the next encounter. Metal Ore, which is part of a weapon forging quest. Holy Forge, which is part of the same quest. And the Dark Ritual, which is an encounter. So I think what you basically have to do, you randomly find the Metal Ore and you have to take it to the Holy Forge and you get a weapon. As far as I can remember on that one. And as a reward for defeating my Lizardman Jack, you receive new cards. The Hearn's Antlers, which will be very useful to us, and the Undead Bane.
Halfway done. Let us continue.
So there we go, we have defeated the 6th boss in Hand of Fate. I'm having a lot of fun with this still. It is definitely getting more and more tricky, and remember I have sort of played through this once before, up until right near the end. I have got beyond this point before, so I do relatively know what I'm doing, but yeah, you will get to a point where you get stuck at this point in this game. It does get very unforgiving towards the end. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Hand of Fate as much as I am playing it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, goodbye for now.